Food insecurity and lack of nutrition education are issues plaguing low-income communities, which are consistently have higher rates of mortality, morbidity, and disability. A recent study found that 13.2% of all households in the DC area are food insecure. Accessibility to affordable, nutritious food is a major issue for these groups. The lack of nutrition education is even more apparent among children, and this education deficiency leads to greater chances of obesity, chronic disease, and other poor health outcomes. That's where the Lunch and Learn program comes in. This program will provide free nutrition courses and community gardening practices in the DC area at local schools, churches, or community centers. Giving students an environment to learn about, grow, and harvest fruits and vegetables will provide them education as well as food that they could not normally access at home. On top of that, with the program taking place over the summer, it provides parents the state of mind, or the peace of mind, knowing that their children are not only learning and being supervised, but also getting quality meals over the summer when they normally aren't guaranteed those. This site, my personal portfolio, describes the Lunch and Learn program as well as things about me, things I learned from the course, and how I combine all of those into what I want to make this program to be. Starting on the homepage, the Lunch and Learn program describes my portfolio with 3 different tabs, consisting of my personal portfolio with stuff about me and what I'm grateful for, my personal development page, as well as my action plan, where I highlight local issues, my goals, and my empathy interviews. Starting with my About Me page, I use assignments from the course, like the Do Good 1 Year Impact assignment, where I break down descriptors of what I think and what other people think of me. Next is the Designing Your Life Good Time Journal, where I break down activities where I've found myself to be more engaged and have more energy than others, as well as the Failure Log, where I go into some of my more recent failures and see them as growth opportunities and what I can learn from them. Next is What I'm Grateful For. Here I go into a couple of things that I personally am grateful for and what they mean to me and why they're so important to me. Next is Personal Development. Here I go into my goals and reflect on what I wanted to learn this semester and how I've gone to achieve these skills. Here, the Designing Your Life Odyssey Planning Reflection, I go into a few examples of career paths that I'm considering and what it would mean to me to do this and how my interest could lead me down this path. Next is a switch synthesis, which I took from the mind mapping assignment, where I go into the destination postcard idea and how that helped me script critical moves for my issue in class and with this portfolio. Next is the action plan, where I go into detail week by week what steps I want to take to get my Lunch and Learn program off the ground. Next is local issues, where I feature an article of mine that I wrote in Annapolis last semester about food insecurity, specifically in Maryland. And I use that to go into the do good assignment of your idea, breaking down the problem at hand and certain causes that I could take to combat that problem, as well as prototyping assignment, where I have potential conversations and experiences that would help me learn more about the issue and ways to tackle it. Next are my program goals, where I detail specifically what I want to do within my individual business model case study and what relationships, what partners, what costs, and everything like that, how my program would exist. And then some learning outcomes from readings. I took some answers from Quiz 2, as well as my takeaways from chapters 30 and 31 from the Do Good Well book, and had a conclusion of how that really relates back to what I want to do with my assignment. And lastly are my interviews. I take into account previous empathy interviews from class and what conclusions I had from them, as well as 3 do good interviews that I did for this assignment, where I talked to people involved in food insecurity and nutrition education and how I think I can best use what I learned from those interviews and take them into account for what my portfolio can do. I put a lot of work into this, and I would really appreciate any feedback you could provide. But more than anything, I just hope you enjoy my portfolio and my Lunch and Learn program. Thank you.